All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us for the 2018 Brent Hamrick Memorial Open in Columbus, Ohio. This is round 3 coverage. We're heading into the middle 9 holes out of the 27. This is round 3, part 2. I'm joined by Brad Schick.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We got Chris Dickerson and Max Nichols tied for the lead of the tournament at 16 under. Drew Gibson just 2 strokes back from them at 14. Going into hole 10, and this hole's a doozy.
Yeah, lots of trouble to get in if you get off to the right at all, if you come in a little early.
Yeah, asked Drew about that for round 1. He was down there in the ravine.
Yeah, it's no fun down there. This one is really just a placement shot off the tee. I mean, you can definitely get way up there, but the majority of these guys are just doing exactly what Chris did. Get it up there. It's not an easy lefty hole. Looks like Max was going up there, but he's in a good spot. The basket's really tucked back there, back to the right. So
yeah, you need 2 perfect shots to get your par 3 on this one.
looks like Max put a good shot on that one. So maybe give himself a putt. Chris is a little pinned under that tree. He's probably about 125 feet away. Caught one of the last trees, but he's probably a good 40 feet away, but maybe has a look. Drew, oh my goodness, smashed. That's a huge drive and a drop in 3, which is exactly what you want. Chris trying to save the par. Just missed one on the last hole and a little high on that one, so a couple of putts uncharacteristically missing for Chris. Max dropping in his 3.
And he hits the red part of the pole like normal.
Yeah, he does. The 4's not the worst thing in the world on this hole. Again, these guys are all thinking birdie on every hole, but I'm not sure if it's listed as a par 4 on the card, but I'd say the majority of these guys are completely fine getting a 3 and happy for the most part. So, little movement, 14 for Drew, 16 under for Max, taking the lead back from Chris, who dropped one. So, hole 11 is 360 feet, tucked back in the woods. And that is fabulous. I can promise you it's not that easy. This pin is tucked pretty far back, and John, you're back there with that camera to get a good line on it, but from the tee it does not look that open, I can promise you.
Yeah, I normally prefer the POV shot, but there's just no room behind the pin to fit a cameraman.
You don't really see many people going long on this hole, I can tell you that.
Because there's so much in the way. And like Brad's saying, when you're standing on the tee pad, you see that on the screen, the trees on the right there, those are in your way. It doesn't really look like it, but it's kind of a tunnel shot right off the tee pad, and then you have to deal with all these trees once you get up to the green.
Wow. That is
good grief.
Unbelievable. That's just a great shot, and it was effortless. So you're looking at 3 guys almost inside the circle. Max, unfortunately, just was pinned back there, and
yeah, he didn't have a line.
Drew and Chris absolutely parked it, this is a big bonus too, in my opinion. I don't know how these guys feel. Drew playing little games,
keeping it fun. Chris says, "Get that out of here."
These guys are all good friends and play with each other every week, so good drive by Max. Not the best result, but again, 3 is not a bad score on that hole.
So it's tied again. Chris jumping back up into the lead, tied for the lead at 16 under.
Moving on to hole 12, 306 feet, but it definitely plays longer. You have an uphill kind of off that tee. It doesn't seem to be that much uphill, but it really is, and there's a really tight window about 175 feet off. And Drew's in the one spot you don't want to be. That's where birdies go to die.
Yeah, he's in big trouble.
Chris needs to skip. Couldn't tell if he got it. Didn't look like it.
He's not sure.
He had a good line on it. I would expect Max to peer this. This is a good lefty hole. Just throw it flat and then get that late hyzer. And he is probably, well, He was going to be about 15 feet away. Now he looks like he has some work to do, so Drew's in jail. I mean, there's no shot here.
Puts it down.
Come on.
Oh, look at this. Oh, did you look at this?
Come on.
No way. Is he circling the basket in jail?
I can tell you, if you go down there and try that again, normal person, you could try it 30 times, and you wouldn't get anywhere near that that good. So, huge, amazing props to Drew, and good run by Chris there. Max still stayed close. I think he skipped off those little limbs there, but good two.
Nice bird.
Good pickup, especially after the last hole, because he threw a pretty good roller and didn't get the reward. So picking one back up on them and should tighten it back up, right? Three-way tie now. I remember. Good three by Chris. That's one he's thinking two on at the tee. Oh no, what am I talking about? 15, 16, 17. That's right.
Yeah,
Max was already winning. I was thinking it was Drew.
Yep, Max out ahead by one stroke. It's a placement shot here off the tee. You got to get around the corner. You can't even see the green from the pin.
Yeah, it's 437 feet. It's pretty much not, two's not even in the equation. Not anymore. Years past it was, but the trees are so tall. So now everyone really is playing to that short tee, trying to skip through there and give themselves a look, which is about 250 feet, where they're landing still about 250 to the pin. But it's a really controlled shot. Chris played it really well. Maybe you want to be a little bit to the right of that, but you can see the pin is tucked back in there pretty well. And the right side of this is just bad news. There's just nothing but darkness. If that gets a skip, it should be really good, and it does. Curls back over. That's a good one.
So he's in the circle.
Mm-hmm. Drew going really high. I think in years past that was the line. That's what happens. It starts rolling. Yeah.
Look at this roll away.
Wow.
Oh, just stay up top. Don't go down the hill.
I think that the play now is a lower skip shot. What Chris did. It's just so much less trouble. And Max has a really tough lefty shot, and it looks like he executed it pretty well.
Yeah, that looked pretty nice.
And Drew did get a bad roll.
Yeah, he wasn't too thrilled about it, I guarantee you.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, he was at the circle's edge, and it rolled all the way back to the hill. Max, nice putt.
High and on the red line, but in. And Chris threw a perfect approach. Well done. That's perfectly played. And a birdie. I mean, I don't care what you say. A 3 on that's a birdie. Drew a little disappointed, I'm sure, because that was a rough roll.
Yeah, Max still in the lead. He's got one stroke over Chris. Drew drops back one more at 14 under.
Hole 14, just pipe one down the middle here. It's another, it's a par 4 in my opinion. I think there might be a 2 or, here or there. The majority of guys are thrilled with getting a 3. You just really just a straight line drive right up the middle. Chris was really getting on that one. Jeez. And he did. Yeah, that's a great shot.
That's really the best you can hope for.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see these guys that have the power and distance. Drew's one of the few people that could probably reach this hole with the right shot, but the risk involved in throwing one, the flip up, to fly up and not, high. There's just so much more danger that these guys know. They understand what they need to do. They're playing for 3. It's a smart play. If it were the last couple holes of the tournament, and they needed a 2, you'd see him throwing a lot harder, but it's just not necessary at this point. So Max, even though he was a little low, he still has a shot for 3, but he's kind of overcooked that one and turned it a little bit too much.
But at least he kept it under his nemesis branch there.
Drew's perfect. A little short, but Well played. And you can see how easy this hole is when you actually throw it on top of that hill, which the majority of guys aren't doing because it's a challenging tee shot. Max is about 45 feet out.
Yeah, he had to straddle out to get around that first tree. Drew taps in his par.
Nothing wrong with a 3.
Nope.
One thing you'll notice about Chris too is it doesn't matter if it's 15 feet or 50 feet. He pretty much has the same routine. He sticks to it, and it's a good tip for beginning players to take your time, follow your routine, and do your thing. So 1-4 for Max, pars for Drew and Chris, and we have another tie. Hole
Yeah,
A.
you could say Chris is methodical.
Mm-hmm. Is that a nice way of saying slow?
No.
Oh, okay. Chris, hole A, 340. Lots of trouble. Road on the left is out of bounds, and Chris just looks like he line drived one that just scooted all the way down there, pretty close. The right side wood line it's not the worst place to be. It's in bounds, but if you get way down in there, it's trouble. So Drew and Chris are both just letting one skip down in there and give themselves a circle's edge putt, probably.
Yeah, Drew's one of probably just a few players that are throwing their rock on this hole,
Mhm.
340.
And Max, I would imagine that 3 rounds in a row he did that within 10 feet. I mean, this is his shot. And this is a scary putt because there's enough trouble back there.
Oh,
mama.
He thought it was in.
Yeah, and that was a good lob putt where it didn't roll way down. If he did miss, it probably wasn't going to go very far. Chris. Oof.
Good run.
Yeah, you can see, I guess they were a little shorter than it looked, but it's a smart putt to kind of take a little off because of that downhill slope. And beautiful too by Max, picking up a stroke that he gave up on the previous hole.
Sole possession of the lead now for Max. 17 under.
And hole B, this is another road on the left, 385 feet, but it's really a 385 feet that most people aren't trying to, as crazy as that seems. All these guys can throw 385 feet, but that cable there to the left of it is out of bounds, the road's out of bounds, the telephone pole's in play. There's just a lot of things to worry about. And most of these guys are just trying to get it right into that mouth right there. And although that looks close from the video, he's probably still 40 or 45 feet away with a lot of trees guarding. So, really that's just like, let's just get one in the mouth inbounds and see what happens. So, yeah, it's tough to tell from this angle, but it's pretty guarded in there.
Yeah, there's a handful of holes, admittedly, in this video that look much harder. They play much harder than they look on the video.
True. Good layup, Drew. Yeah, again, no, these guys aren't really angry about getting a 3 on this hole. It's kind of one of those, it's just like, it would be great to get a 2, but
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a heck of a try. Star par, just get out, move on. There's a lot of 4s to be had on this hole, and they all dodged it.
So no change. Max still hanging on to a 1-stroke lead. Heading into short, tight wooded holes now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these next three holes are pretty short, but challenging. 200, less than 200 feet, 197 feet. There's a good little line right there over that big pile of logs there. And it appears that Max has parked it. That's kind of the line you're taking as a lefty.
Yeah, he makes it look easy.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of sidearms from right-handers or a slow little putter turnover like this. Oof, looks like he caught one of the last ones there. And this is a popular shot, like a little putter mid. And he got the one tree you're trying to miss.
So much still in the way.
Mm-hmm. It's frustrating to miss these. I mean, you know it's just right there in front of you, but they're tough. Make it. Missed. Good putt by Drew. Max is still waiting.
We're winning Christmas absolute park job by Max Nichols.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out if you don't mind, okay? Thanks. Yeah.
Nice bird.
Well done.
So now he has a 2-stroke lead.
He's playing solid. Trying to go wire to wire. Stay on that lead card all the way through. Okay. This hole's fun. It's a shorty, but it's there. I mean, the line is there. It's a tight line, but you know, you keep it low. Like Max is going pretty high. I like to try to keep it low personally. If you do hit a tree, you don't kick as far away.
Right.
This sidearm is a real popular play from a right-hander, so you get that turn, let it stall up, and then it just coasts right to the pin. And if you can get the slide down on that hard-packed ground, looks like he gave himself a good shot for the bird. Drew's also going to throw a sidearm. And he's early. Yeah, that's, oh boy.
That's trouble.
That kicked over into hole E's fairway, which is not probably going to leave him a lot of great options. You're not thinking you want to 4 this hole when you walk up. This is one that is definitely you're thinking 2. And if you don't 2, just get your 3 and move on. That's kind of how all these little wooded holes are. And
whoa!
Chris is doing Chris things. Nice putt. Man, that was 60, 70 feet.
Yeah. Jeez.
So nonchalant. Max has got some stuff to contend with. Probably just trying to get out of there.
So now Drew needs this for his par.
Ooh.
Right off the cage.
Yeah, it's a frustrating 4.
Yeah, he gave up 2 strokes to Chris on that one. But Max still in the lead. 18 under.
So hole E is the last of the 3 little, we call them little gauntlet holes. Oh, sorry. Next video.
Yeah, we'll be to that here very shortly. Come back and join us for the last 9 holes of round 3. Thanks again.